Storm is coming, reveal the mystery. Hidden warriors already to give a fatal blow. Observe the sums of time, guided by civilization. Like a beacon, spread the words. The world cries sounding from afar. Fire and sword piercing through. We'll never surrender. For our lives, for victory. From the King of Glory. The symbol, touch the sky. Together, heart champion. Charge without fear. Climb the highest mountain. The way to glory is higher than the sky. The sail the world through the valley. And a hero that'll make history. Words will spread to kindness. Temple the God will walk up battle between legends never end. Swords come through the gates of hell. All will be ready and let us talk about warriors. Impeccable strategies. When the sharpest are playing strong, enemies will be Storm is coming, reveal the mystery. Hidden warriors already to give a fatal blow. Observe the sums of time, guided by civilization. Like a beacon, spread the words. The world cries sounding from afar. Fire and sword piercing through. We'll never surrender. For our lives, for victory. From the King of Glory. The symbol, touch the sky. Together, heart champion. Charge without fear. Climb the highest mountain. The way to glory is higher than the sky. The sail the world through the valley. And a hero that'll make history. Words will spread to kindness. Temple the God will walk up
Hello, Governors. Welcome to the 2023 Rise of Kingdoms Global Championships Grand Prix Quarterfinals. I'm your host, Plato Gaming, caster and content creator for Rise of Kingdoms. And casting alongside me is a good friend, guest caster, Fish.
Honored to be here, Plato.
Yeah, so give us a little bit about yourself. What's your experience with Rise of Kingdoms, Osiris League, all that kind of stuff for people that were not able to watch the 12 UTC game?
Yeah, I'm Fish. I'm from 60GT. I'm usually known as like the migration guy from 60GT who lets people in. And yeah, my Osiris League experience, for example, is season 6. I think we became 3rd rank with MX in 960, where I played. And in season 7, we won Osiris League. I played on the GT team. And also in season 6, I played in the grand final.
Gotcha. Okay. A lot of experience coming alongside me. And for those who don't know, this Grand Prix is actually a really special one because it is the first event to combine the international Rise of Kingdoms server with the Chinese Rise of Kingdoms server, bring the best of the best from the two servers, ultimately to crown the best ARC team in the world. And we invited the Osiris League realm winners from the last 2 seasons, as well as 4 teams, 2 teams per server, from the sign-up stage of the Grand Prix. And like the Grand Finals, every player is given an account. So every player has the same commanders, same gear, same troops, and it's all up to the strategy and how they use those commanders, gear, and troops to gain an edge, to gain the victory overall in these Ark of Osiris matches. And just for context, we are casting with a 12-minute delay for competitive integrity purposes. But yeah, it should be a very, very exciting match that we have coming up. Talking about the Chinese and international server, we're seeing a clash between 2 titans of 93T versus GY16. 93T being the Grand Finals champion of the last season, the Realm of Horus champions, and overall the Grand Finals champions, versus one of the most dominant, historically, Chinese teams. Battling it out to move on to the semifinals to take the next step to be the global champions. So, Fisher, what do you think of this matchup?
I mean, it's a great matchup. On one side, you have 93T. Everyone knows 93T, of course. I mean, it's right now, in my opinion, the strongest team from the international server, without a doubt. And on the other hand, you have GY16, and even though GY16 did not win their past season of Osiris League, they became rank 4. They lost to A97 in a very close match. I think it was 500 points or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They are, historically speaking, the most renovated team of the Chinese server, with rank 2 in the first season, champion in the second and third season, and now in the last season, rank 4. They were always successful, basically. And also, maybe some of you guys know them from being the first alliance in the Chinese server to hit gift level 50, I believe. So that's why many people also call them the GT from the Chinese server, basically. Mm-hmm. And I definitely think that this is a great match. I think both teams are incredible. It will definitely depend on how much both teams practice since their last matches, of course. Mm-hmm. But in my opinion, 93T is in a slight advantage today because of the past performances. But at the same moment, GY16 brings very interesting strategic factors to the Grand Prix. For example, the sneaky tactics skill, which no other team uses in the Grand Prix.
They use sneaky tactics, wow.
They use sneaky tactics. Like last week, at the first arc, basically what GY16 did is they baited with total vision, basically the mid lane fight. And after that, they brought cavalry marches with sneaky tactics invisible to the arc, delayed the arc, got the structures, and then stole the arc.
That's crazy. So, for context, sneaky tactics, let me just pull it up on my end here, is for 180 seconds, 30 allied troops gain 50 march speed and are invisible to enemies. And I believe once they get out of stealth, they get a 30% damage boost for the next 60 seconds. So that is pretty crazy. That they use sneaky tactics, an off-meta skill. And it'll be really interesting. 93T seen as a more innovative team from the international servers. And from what I'm hearing from you, Fish, is GY16 using sneaky tactics is as innovative as you can get. So we will have to see the matchups here. As we said, 93T, GY16, super good. It's going to be a really, really good match here. I'm going to look at the bracket real quick, just in case you weren't able to see the 12 UTC games where A97 and 489 of the left side of the bracket were able to win. So those two teams are going to be making it to the semifinals, and we are currently looking at the top right of the bracket, 93T versus GY16, to see who will be versing the winner of VOOK and 60 GT. So it should be a really, really interesting match here as we get into the game. What do you think we should be looking for this opening? You said, as we said, both teams are pretty innovative with how they play the game.
Yeah,
do you think there's going to be anything crazy, or is it going to be pretty standard for the opening?
I believe it will be pretty standard in general. I think that 93T should be the team with the better building game in general. I think 93T got an incredible building game in general, always. And GY16 could be the team with the better arc game at this one. But yeah, we're gonna see that, and that could then be the deciding factor also.
Building versus arc. Which is kind of funny because GY16 being the Chinese server team, on average, from what I've been seeing from their teams, they've been very, very strong with the building game. And then the international servers would go mid for arc. But in this case, you're seeing it's the inverse.
I still believe that GY16 got a very strong building game as well. But I don't think that it can be on the level of 93T.
Gotcha.
It would really surprise me if they do.
I mean, 93T, as we've seen in Season 7 of Osiris League, in the Grand Finals as well, they are a very, very strong team with the buildings. And they're very crafty with the mid fights too. They might lose a mid fight, but somehow still win those arcs. So we will have to see how GY16 responds to the challenge. Probably the biggest challenger for the title here in the international server.
For sure, yeah.
As we see some emotes flying from GY16 players. Yeah, I'm expecting to see a lot of cav marches in the beginning here, as we saw in previous matches. Just full cav and then maybe one infantry march with CPO and Liu Che, because the movement speed of those two marches are essentially, you know, a cav march in itself.
Yeah, for sure. We're definitely going to see many cav marches, but just to pick up this one thing that you said with like sniping the arc, which 93T is very, very good at. I feel like both teams basically are great at the strategy, so it's going to be very exciting to see. I mean, that's why you use the sneaky
tactics. True. You think the arc's safe, all of a sudden 30 marches come out of stealth essentially. So that's going to be really interesting to see. And that's the thing about you having a skill in your skill bar. If you have it in your skill bar, it'd be a waste not to use it. So if GY16 have sneaky tactics, then they will for sure use it at some point in this game here. As we see the CCs pouring out. It is CC with is that a Nevsky just walking to capture these outposts. Pretty much mirrored here. If we look at the rallies, both teams are rallying all 4 obelisks here. No outpost rallies from either team as of yet. We have the hidden sentries literally right on top of each other. Wow, okay. We have GY16 with the defensive sentry right on top of 93T's sentry. So GY16 will be able to take down the sentry, hopefully concealing any information that they may be able to give here. What do you think of the sentry placement?
93T took basically the same sentry as they did last week. Last week they also placed it between the enemy Shrine of War and Scar Altar. But I believe that GY16 did it between the own Shrine of War and the enemy altar, more in the inner lane. So it's not too far off actually. It could also be the same actually. I'm not completely sure, but I believe that both teams do the same sentry as last week.
Yeah, I mean, both teams were able to watch each other's matches. That's why we stream every single match of these games. So it's really interesting to see. They probably watched 93T's match and were like, hey, they have a sentry here. Let's kill this sentry. so that they can't see what we're doing. And we could go into the vision range here. 93T have no vision of what's going on in this top side. Meanwhile, they would have been able to see all of these marches advancing towards the Shrine of Life here. So it's a really interesting strategy and really interesting sentry placement, because usually if you wanted to know how many marches were on 93T's side, you'd have it north of the pyramid.
Yeah, I mean, 93T still expects, of course, this play to come with the marches moving. You see already the movement going there, basically, so they will be caught. We have mirror plays at the desert altars. GY16 is pushing a little bit further, letting the rally even go, which could be to block TP spots potentially. On the other hand, okay, what you have to see now in the middle, if you look one time in the middle, GY16 is defending their own desert altar. 93T is going to engage pretty early. At the same time, GY16 is going with a lot of force to the enemy Shrine of War, I believe.
Shrine of War. Shrine of War. Oh yeah, the middle fight here. There's like 3 people plus a garrison walking through to the Shrine of War. That's pretty interesting. Usually I see people push middle and then they go for these outposts, but these guys are like, nah, we are going to go for the Shrine of War, which for context give a 5% attack, 5% defense. As we see the desert altar fights start to commence here, I don't know how to feel about the desert altar fights.
I'm not a fan of it in general.
Yeah.
Like, you go with a lot of marches to enemy Shrine of War, of course, but it's maybe a little bit too much for how much the Shrine of War is really worth.
Gotcha.
Because you're definitely giving up your desert altar, that's pretty sure. Like, you see 93T is mostly, or am I wrong? No,
yeah, 93T
is dominating the desert altar here.
Yeah, they are dominating this desert altar fight. And I think GY16 is going to have to... Whoa, look at the amount of marches here from 93T blocking TP space of GY16. So a pretty similar strategy used from GY16. I mean, 93T as well as A97. I think GY16's opening, although they were able to get into the desert altar somehow first, the opening's super interesting.
It's surprising that GY16 was able to get that many marches of 93T away from their own desert altar. Of course, now 93T has taken the altar, but I don't believe that it's going to be very full. Most of the marches were simply yellow or red at this point. And GY16 is going to be very quickly at taking that back. So taking the enemy Sky Altar is definitely a huge play right now for GY16, but I think they're lacking a garrison there.
Yeah, they don't have a garrison. It would have been huge if they had a garrison, but the Joan of Arc, although it is Joan's trying her best, it is not a garrison march. Getting swarmed down by Heraclius YSS. The Sky Altar will eventually fall. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But still a really good opening where GY16 was able to capture the Shrine of War. They are able to push up here and kind of, because there were marches around the Shrine of War, they are engaging marches right in front of 93T cities, which these marches should be in focusing down this desert altar or recapturing this Shrine of War, but they are keeping these marches at bay here, kind of delaying any push towards the desert altar that could happen. As we go to the top side here, Sky Altar looks secure, Shrine of War looks secure. So it does look like GY16's opening is... The only big difference is this Shrine of War capture. I'm kind of confused as to why they have a double C garrison when I did see a Heraclius garrison walk up alongside them, but it looks like all the structures are going to be stabilized here.
Yeah, we're gonna see it. No, okay, it was already gone.
Yeah.
What I believe what we're gonna see is GY16 is gonna move pretty early to the middle. In general, last week they moved around like minute 4 already. 93T moved a little bit later. And then, yeah, if we see many cavalry marches forming at the back side of the middle, basically, at the mountains, then we know that a sneaky tactics is coming.
Okay, that's the tell. If we see a bunch of marches walking to the backside, gotcha.
And I see some cavalry marches walking into the direction of the upper mountain. I'm not sure if that could have anything to do with it, but yeah, we're gonna see.
GY16, really interestingly, they captured the desert altar, but then all their marches started walking towards the cities to sad face. So their objective here wasn't even to hold the desert altar, it's just to deny as many points as possible and then leave. Kind of interesting.
Yeah, I agree, but I mean, GY16 seems to be going for the middle, so they're trying to kill off their marches as fast as possible, get all of their marches for the middle, and probably not focus on any structures.
Yeah, agreed.
Meanwhile, 93T is taking the sky altar of GY16.
Oh, yeah,
I don't know
what's
going on the very top. If you look on... Ah, okay, no, they're going for the Shrine of Life. If you see on the very top of the map,
farthest. Wow.
They
are touching the edge of the map here. Going to these ruins in the top of the map that I've never seen before. Wow. That's like a sneaky tactics without using the skill. GY16 able to recapture their sky altar. So all the structures are pretty much even. 2 of the altars are not generating points. Although sky altar for 93T has fallen as well. So I would say 93T actually indexed into mid more than GY16 with the amount of marches that they have in this outer lane capturing the sky altar. So we'll have to see if they're going to be able to leverage this pressure that they have mid to take control of an arc.
But if you look one time right now on the right side of the mountain, you see a lot of cavalry marches grouping up. Also some other marches, but it's a weird group up location.
That is a weird group up location. With a garrison, I wonder where these people are going.
Still, I'm not sure if this could be a sneaky tactics, because you have also garrison there. You have archer marches. You have infantry marches.
You wouldn't fight mid with that Heraclius primary. Usually. As I pull up the code for the first time this stream, the code is RoK 2023 TOP or RoK 2023 top. Again, RoK 2023 top. As we see, what's that total vision used by both teams here?
It's right till now. It's the same thing like last time happened. First total vision, and then the sneaky tactics came. I could imagine them trying to delay the arc now and then come basically with the sneaky tactics when the skill is over for 93T, if they delayed enough.
How many points is sneaky tactics?
Sneaky tactics is 4 points.
4 points. Got it.
And total vision is 3 minutes long. Oh, there we got the sneaky tactics.
Sneaky. Oh.
They're going for the obelisk? They're going for the obelisk. 93T got no idea.
Wow. Okay, I've never seen sneaky tactics used before. So this is a first.
93T definitely thinks right now that they are coming from the back somewhere to the arc. But it seems like GY16 is actually trying to go for the obelisk, and those marches that you remember earlier that went to like the top of the map somewhere for their own journey, they're also coming to the obelisk right now. And 93T knows nothing about it.
What is going on right now?
At the same time, in the middle, you see just the marches of GY16 storming around, just potentially then trying to deny the arc from being taken.
Wow. Okay,
but
so
now,
what does GY16 get for getting this this obelisk?
I mean,
What's
if
the
they can hold
benefit?
the
Extra
obelisk,
teleports?
if you can teleport your people into the backline of the enemy at the enemy obelisk, it's quite a huge play. Like we had that happening in K244 against GT back then, where we almost lost our game. Oh, and there was no ghost in the obelisk, and that is huge. That is very, very dangerous right now. You have so many marches, and 93T does not even know that all of those marches are there. They have no idea. They think that's maybe one march inside right now, so let's clear it later.
Wow.
That
Stealth
could become a
used.
very huge play.
That is crazy. Sneaky tactics. I honestly thought sneaky tactics wouldn't be used with the fog, because fog essentially is a form of sneaky tactics, being able to just hide in fog. But using it in this situation to capture the obelisk, they are sacking though their own Sky Altar, their own Shrine of War. They are also sacking the Ark. Do you think it's worth the amount of points that they're giving up for this play?
I believe it's worth, yeah. I believe it's really worth because they're denying more people to TP from 93T to the top obelisk potentially. Look at how many people are still in the home zone. You have right now from 93T 11 people still in the home zone. And if you only TP 2 players inside of that, you constantly need so many players to hold this obelisk, because if you can't hold it for 2 minutes, you lose your TPs. You can't get more people to the top lane. That's the same thing that happened back then to us, where we completely had to restructure our plan. And this is actually going through. 30 seconds, 93T will not be able to take that obelisk back on time, and we will see GY16 march cities TP in.
We start to see the 93. We start to see the 93T marches walking in now.
It's
but
late.
It's a bit too little too late with 15 seconds left on this obelisk.
It's huge.
Usually we'd be keeping an eye out on this arc. This arc looks like it's going to be safe. But what an interesting play. And we'll have to see, as Fish said, right now the points are going to look pretty uneven
And
with the
now we
structures
see
they're
the
losing. There you
There
go.
we are. That is very huge. That is so damn huge.
So innovative. This is something I've never seen before. Sneaky tactics into obelisk capture.
And now the GY16 marches that are there, they will just go and take the desert altar and get a quite decent point advantage. And then also the cities that just TP'd on the obelisk, they will send their marches also to the desert altar and to the Shrine of Life. And potentially you will have 2 or 3 people always try to reinforce this obelisk, or if it's getting taken, they will just try to recapture it really quick. And you need to have so many 92T players busy. It's a very huge play in my opinion.
This is so crazy. What a game so far. Although I like the 93T's response. I like 93T's response of just instantly capturing the arc. Being like, there's some shenanigans going on here. Let's just get as many points as possible. So yeah, what a play. And they were able to stabilize their structures as well. So they are down points per minute, but as soon as these structures flip, it's going to be even.
That's a very huge play.
So they sacked an arc, which is like 2.5k, right? Ish for the first arc.
Yeah, 2.5.
2.5k. Able to teleport in some cities onto 93T's side. Although 93T was able to recapture their obelisk, but that's like marches that have to be allocated for the rest of the game to hold that structure, which they probably were not planning.
I believe that the Sky Altar for GY16 is now completely safe on the top side. Like, the players that are at the obelisk, they need to focus definitely on the Desert Altar now, on their own structures. Because the top side is basically looking amazing now for GY16. Like, you will not be able to make a big offense on any structure of GY16 there.
Yeah, because even if they recapture the obelisk, those cities are taking up the teleport spaces that they potentially would have taken, right? So it's such an interesting play from GY16, and it's something that, as we said, these are the best of the best teams. GY16 seen as, even though they lost last season, they're seen as like historically one of the best, or if not the best Chinese server team, showing something that we've never seen before.
I mean, we've
obelisk
seen
capture.
teleportation skills with Obelisk, but never this thing. This
Never
is
sneaky
completely new.
tactics. Because the thing about teleportation, you know exactly where the master strategies is gonna go. For sneaky tactics, it could be anywhere on the map.
Yep.
So,
And
mhm.
you have a problem now. Like, where are 93T marches even gonna group up? Like, you have the cities there. You can't go
True.
anywhere. Like, you have the people from GY16 in your backline.
You
And
could have a
you
murder
can-
ball behind your city.
Yeah. It's getting difficult. Like, also for the mid fight, it could become difficult. If GY16 is now able to all refresh their marches, maybe, this could become a good one for GY16 as well.
Just having 4 cities that they can't zero. Usually in matches, like, you have to have like around 200 plus million power to pull off something like that. Every player in this game has 200 plus million power, so every player could have teleported in that situation, which is huge. This is insane. As we see, Arc is going to spawn in 4 minutes 30 seconds, so we do see 93T starting to rotate over here, and they are still in the lead in terms of points. They were able to take the Arc. GY16 did sacrifice some points for this play, so I think the real question is, will 93T be able to hold this lead? Essentially the best they can do in this top lane is go even and hold their structures. I don't think they could aggress into GY16 structures at this point because of the pressure that they have around their own obelisk.
Yeah, there definitely can't be any aggression anymore to the enemy structures. It's not gonna work out. It's definitely not gonna work out. Not at this point of the match right now. Definitely 93T needs the new next arc, that's for sure. Like, this can't go to GY16 or this will become very, very disgusting. But I believe that 93T with the skill point advantage also will take the next arc.
93T with a skill point advantage. We'll have to see. And in my opinion, for them to continue on with this game, they have to continue capturing arcs, or else it's going to be really tough for them. As I pull up the code here, RoK 2023 TOP. Again, RoK 2023 top. As we continue to see, yeah, this Desert Altar is just so hard to contest because of the pressure of the marches. Literally, you're walking side by side with your opponents walking to the Desert Altar, which is a crazy sight to see.
It feels a little bit like the K244 against GT match back then. And
Yeah,
there was
yeah.
it gives me a little bit of a deja vu basically. And it can become very, very bad with that. But right now still 93T is still stable, of course. But this is a huge disadvantage for top lane.
Yeah. They are stable, but they're always under threat. This Desert Altar is always under threat. But we start to see the amassing troops from both sides here. 93T having the positioning advantage in this mid fight, in this mid area. And I actually think if 93T capture this arc, they're at a decent spot. Even though they are getting out pressured, it is really hype. GY16 did such a play. I think if you're 93T, you can't let it rattle you and you just continue on with the game plan, which is holding your structures and winning mid. Like, when this happened at 60 GT, what were the comms like? Like, what was the internal, I guess,
I mean, in
plan?
such a situation, you need to stay calm, first of all. Like, there would be many teams which may freak out. I think also 93T is staying pretty calm right now. In the first moments, of course, you get confused. You need to first check what to do. But then in GT against K244, I think we took all the arcs after and basically won based on the arcs. And also what you see right now, you have so many cities basically still in 93T home zone, while all of the cities of GY16 at this point are already in the map.
Oh, that's true. The extra teleports, the 8 extra teleports from capturing that obelisk were huge. As you see, dust up used by 93T. And it looks like they're starting to aggress here into GY16. This is exactly what 93T have to do. They have to kind of have free arcs here and continue to win that game. Although it does look like the desert altar is actually being uncontested at the moment, so they have a moment to breathe as we start to see the fights commence here. Wow, look at that murder ball spread. As we go into the sad face cam, GY16 having more sad faces as the arc has spawned. Let's see who gets first pull. That first pull is going to be huge. And 93T having first pull. Running away with a T1 march. Look at that T1 go. It's almost as fast as the T5 chasing it.
Yeah, 92T will probably give the arc instantly. But you have GY16 marches coming from the top.
The reinforcements from the opponent obelisk have arrived.
This game is so unusual.
It is crazy. We see GY16 now pulling the arc south here, trying to deny it as much as possible from 93T. Do you think there's a world where you actually pull it north instead of south? Because at least you have cities on both obelisks to the north?
Nah, I guess GY16 is just trying to get some time of them.
Yeah.
And now go for some structures. Yeah, the desert altar is falling. But at the same time, GY16 lost their own desert altar, which is definitely not something that should happen right now.
Yeah, that is a huge take from 93T. If you're winning mid, you shouldn't be simultaneously winning structures. But I feel like 93T, their strength is they're so good at trading. When you take something from them, there's always something that they take back. So the structure game essentially right now is even, or actually 93T is winning with the take of the Shrine of War on their side. And as we said, like there shouldn't be a world where 93T is able to take these top lane structures, but GY16 actually giving away the Shrine of War and having a Huacu garrison on the Sky Altar. Maybe they didn't expect for there to be an aggression towards their top lane structures.
GY16 coming with some marches from the bottom now, towards the mid. And I feel like the arc carrier doesn't really know right now where to go. He changes direction multiple times.
Yeah, they saw that there's GY16 marches from the bottom, having to push it to the top, but pushing it to the top essentially brings you to the side where you're weaker because there are more GY16 cities around your own home obelisk. So there's risks all over the place for 93T, and this arc is nowhere near safe yet.
And you can't forget also, like, there's still the teleportation skill, of course. I don't really think that it would work out here, but potentially. We always have to keep the option of it there.
Yeah. This Captain Marvel having to this
is we never seen such a situation before. Like, he's trying to bring it to his own city basically, but no marches come from his own city from the enemy.
Yeah. So, look at that. We got the GY16 marches just walking from home essentially.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever seen an arc being carried like that.
I was about to say Captain Marvel is essentially going through a maze of marches trying to see where the safe spot is as the arc carrier has fallen. As
I
well
mean,
as
in such
I
a
believe.
situation, it's difficult, of course.
Yeah, it's just like, where do I go? You have to remember, all these players are Fog of War. So let's go. I'm gonna stay on. I'm gonna stay on blue side Fog of War 93T to see what they see. And they're walking the other way.
Now it's going the other way. Oh god.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Will this be?
This is the weirdest arc I've ever seen, I guess.
And the thing is, this is good for GY16 because they're holding the structure game. They're holding the structure game. They have 3 altars.
The problem for 93T is now, the bottom side is the only safe side usually for the arc, but at the same moment GY16 brought marches from the bottom side, and bring it to the own obelisk is extremely risky because you have so many marches there from the enemy and cities. So, yeah, it's a difficult situation. I myself, I don't know where I would put this arc.
GY16 actually got the arc right now.
And the desert altar. Shouldn't forget about that too. Okay, next capture is for 93T for sure. Oh.
If you're 93T's arc carrier in this situation, what's a call? Where do you go?
I personally have no idea, to be honest. I feel like in such a situation, you have so many people probably talking to you, so even yourself as the arc carrier, you don't know what to do anymore.
This arc can't move because they just have so many marches. 4 cities, 20 marches worth of people just consistently swarming down the arc carrier, and they could refresh as soon as you can. What an interesting strategy. Oh my goodness. Nah, they're like, yeah, we're done with it. We're walking to the bottom side. We're done with this.
Another march comes from the bottom.
So I will say, because GY16 was able to cap it, it reset the timer. So it's back to 14 minutes until the arc despawns.
And it's dropped again.
I will say 93T was able to take the Sky Altar of GY16 at the moment. So the points per minute battle right now is pretty much even.
I mean, that should not happen, definitely. Like, 93T should not be able right now to take the Sky Altar.
Agreed,
Not on the top side. This must be like the strong way for GY16 right now, because 93T should be busy with the arc and their own structures, and taking the enemy altar then, that's definitely nothing good.
Yeah, I think the lead with the score would be relatively more even if they were able to hold their Sky Altar. And I saw earlier that they had a Huaki Bing garrison, which is kind of inexcusable in a setting where you have all the commanders unlocked. So we'll have to see if they could clean up their altar holds here. But at the same time, look, this arc is inching closer and closer.
Oh, that's a very fast arc carrier. That's a very
look at that. Look at that double C go. Wow. So all 93T have to do is inch this closer and closer and closer to the point where they could capture. And they are so close, but is there a world
GY16 are coming.
Is there a world where GY16 could capture this arc? Probably not, right? There's like a 99% chance 93T cap this. But at the same time, 93T was able to recapture their desert altar. So 93T doing all the things they have to do in this weird situation. That's one of the, in my opinion, one of the strengths of 93T is they are so adaptable with what's happening. Where even though there's this weird arc,
whatever this is,
whatever shenanigans, they're still, even in the points per minute, they were able to capture the first arc, and now they're still up by 1.6k with the arc right next to their cities. So if I was 93T, I'd be pretty comfortable in this spot. What do you think?
I would still be comfortable, of course. Especially since also the skill point advantage is there right now. Okay, now 93T should capture it, and they did capture it. And for the next arc, it could become quite difficult. I don't see a way how in a real like murder ball against murder ball fight, GY16 should be able to take this arc.
Yeah. It was an interesting play, but I think for most teams that would work. Against 93T and how organized they are and how composed they have been, I think it just doesn't work against them.
I mean, I would not say that it doesn't work against them, because definitely the game is not decided yet and still pretty close.
Yeah, for sure.
But I would say that based on the skills, I'm not sure how the next fight would go. I believe 93T will take the third arc.
If they take the third arc, then this is pretty much game for 93T. GY16, they're in a situation where they have to capture this next arc. They have to contest this next arc. As we start to see GY16 Sky Altar get contested, we start to see the Desert Altar of 93T hold with the XY Garrison. So 93T able to hold the structures while also winning the mid fights overall means that they are favored to win this game at this current moment in time.
Definitely favored right now. GY16's problem is the structure game right now. Like, you should not be able to lose your own structures while you have so much more cities on the top side.
Yeah.
GY16 should dominate the building game right now, but they're not doing it. 93T is too good at the building game right now.
And 93T's building game is next to none in the international servers. Consistently, no matter, I feel like it doesn't even matter what point of the game it is, they always have a rally on a structure. They always have one person with that rally. And your structures are always under pressure 24/7. And I feel like what 93T do is they push and pull. Like they kind of like make you have to decide. And based on your decision, they trade the opposite thing. So in this situation, they were able to secure the arc. They traded the altars for a little bit, but now they're even in terms of their altars, in terms of their structures, and they're up 5k. So that means that this lead is going to continue to hold if the structures continue to be even. Man, 5 minutes left until arc spawns. This is a must capture in my opinion for GY16.
It should be, but I don't see a way how, unless which strategy could be pretty interesting. Master strategies and the teleport skill. No, sorry, I just said 2 times teleport. Sneaky tactics and the teleport skill.
Does that work? Like you can't see the marches?
I'm not 100% sure. I mean, you see him as soon as they capture the arc, probably. But I could imagine this be something that could be tried at least, because
that is such an
murder ball battle. No way that GY16 could win that right now.
That is such an interesting tack. We'll have to see. GY16 on the ropes right now, and 93T in the lead. As we start to see the rotations from mid to mid from both teams. In my opinion, I feel like this Desert Altar from 93T is going to be the hotspot. GY16, with the pressure that they have in this top lane, should have complete control of this Desert Altar. But I feel like the Sky Altar of GY16 has been flipping more than 93T's Desert Altar, which is part of the reason of this huge point gap that 93T have. Man, this is so interesting. One of the stars of the international server, holding strong against historically the best Chinese team in the Chinese server. But we still have 20 minutes left of this match. If you're GY16 Fish, what do you think you would do to mount this comeback?
I mean, like I said, I would go for. You need to go for some play. You can't go for a murder ball against murder ball fight because 90. Except I have to say, you make sure that 93T cannot use to the death. Because as soon as you go into murder ball against murder ball fight with 93T right now, and 93T throws that to the death into your face, you lose 100%. You lose definitely. So either GY16 needs to delay the arc, or make sure that 93T does not use to the death, or use the teleport skill. And I could imagine a teleport skill to happen at that one as well.
I can imagine GY16 using the teleport skill once 93T have the arc in their control.
Yeah,
it's gonna be so interesting to see.
I mean, what I would personally try, because right now you lose the game if you're not doing a play, if you're not getting that arc. Okay,
Oh, sneaky tactics used again.
Wait, where?
In mid.
Wait, maybe could it be it actually? Could it be what we said? Look, the mid, they're coming to mid. What if they try to take the arc? They're all going around and they're trying to take it. One of them takes it and they time the I apologize. They time the TP skill in a way that it TPs the arc carrier immediately after taking it. And if they have so many people trying to go for the arc, the chances of them actually capturing it is very high.
Let's see if it works. That is a crazy strategy. We have 1 minute left until arc spawns.
Yeah, they can't clear 93T there. There's no way.
93T, I'm telling you, they get these leads by just chipping away at your structures. They somehow always capture structures so that you lose your points per minute. They just took and gave up the Sky Altar again. They are doing the strategy. They are trying to have all these marches around the Temple of Osiris. And let's look at the vision here.
93T
look at that. 93T
nothing.
have no vision of these marches. They don't know what's happening.
They will do the same thing. This will be a complete coin flip. 93T will also surround this the temple, and everyone will also try to get the arc. Whoever gets this arc right now is gonna take the arc home.
They definitely know something's happening because they saw sneaky tactics be used.
Yeah, now you see this. Yeah, exactly. That's what I meant.
Is that double master strategies? It's double master strategies.
GY16 is, I think, the first one to touch it. I believe GY16 is this is on.
Let's see.
Oh, 93T.
93T getting the arc. Huge play from Captain Marvel and 93T being able to take that arc. Oh my goodness.
What a play.
That was a game-winning play. That was crazy, and they have the luxury of being able to hold this arc. Wow. I like the play from GY16. I really did. Sneaky tactics into trying to capture master strategies, but
this was a complete coin flip right now. If this would have went to GY16, potentially GY16 would win now. But now it's definitely for 93T.
That's the thing. I feel like it's 93T always somehow wins those arc coin flips. Like, their arc carriers are so good at tapping that arc first, which is essentially how it goes. If you tap the arc first, you should get the capture, which is how Captain Marvel in that situation for 93T was able to take the arc and then get teleported out. That was insane.
Yeah. That was a complete coin flip right now. I thought that GY16 got it first, and 93T took it. That was insane. That was...
that was, in my opinion, that was the most unique use of master strategies or attempt of use of master strategies.
By far,
And
by far.
I loved 93T's counter master strategies. Keep this in mind. They didn't see any of the marches. They just saw master strategies used on top of the arc. They're like, all right, yo, they're definitely doing something weird here. Let's counter the master strategy so that we can secure this arc ASAP, which they were able to do.
Yeah, 93T definitely understood what was going on, and there was a perfect response to it. There was like, potentially 93T's play right now was better than the thought even of GY16, because 93T reacted completely right. That was completely how you have to react in that situation. And this was perfection. This was exactly the teleport skills that you want to see in Grand Prix. It was completely flawless.
That was great. As I pull up the code for one final time, RoK 2023 TOP, or Rise or RoK 2023 top. Yeah, this is, I think the past couple of games, the quality of these games have been top notch. With the match that we watched in 12 UTC, 466S, and A97, and 93T versus GY16. GY16 using the sneaky, stealthy tactics, or attempting to use them, although it looks like it will be to no avail at this point with an 8k point differential. It's pretty much impossible to come back from at this point. Like, what is there an angle of a comeback for GY16?
At this point, no. I mean, okay, you have still one arc. Let's not say no. You still have one arc, but considering that the structure game right now also looks better for 93T, I don't see a way how 93T is still losing that right now.
Yeah, it is. 93T was able to stabilize that play by just continuously holding their structure game and taking structure game away from GY16. And then they were able to leverage their mids just to, because the reason why this play is GY16 did this play is to get advantage in this top side. They should have had full structure advantage with this Desert Altar. Their Sky Altar shouldn't have been captured. But somehow, some way, 93T just finds a way to continuously take these structures and hold their structures. Even with his Guan Yu Garrison for the Desert Altar, they're still... I cast cursed it, didn't I? There you go.
No, all good. Happens.
But like that's what I'm saying, though. They're able to recapture and just deny the points per minute. Look at the points per minute right now. 520 to 100 points per minute.
That can't happen. That really can't
exactly happen. How this game went so lopsided for GY16. If you're losing these mid fights, you at least have to win the structure game. But if we look at the overall scores here, they're only up 2k from occupation, but down 10.5k from arc score. And I think that tells the tale right now. As we see the structures continue to flip here.
Like, it's gonna... The problem now is 93T is just gonna focus on the structures. Okay, there's one more arc coming. The arc is not gonna make the difference anymore, because GY16 would need right now a point lead like A97 did. Against 466S in the last moments, when 466S had the advantage due to the arc, and then A97 gained the points. But I don't see this happening here anymore. It's a 8k point difference at this point. Also skill advantage for 93T. We have more skill points on that side as well. There's no surprise gonna happen anymore.
I mean, they could maybe use one more sneaky tactics.
maybe, yeah.
And do something, but
would be fun to see at least.
But yeah, we'll have to see what happens here. 93T just textbook. That's the thing that's impressive to me. They're textbook. They're reading textbooks in like such a crazy environment with that sneaky tactics play. with these sneaky tactics play in general. So the first sneaky tactics play, capturing the obelisk, they responded perfectly fine with trying to hold their structures on that side. The second sneaky tactics play, alongside the master strategies, I'm so impressed with their decision making. With, all right, they're using master strategies around the temple, let's use master strategies as well. Like, that was almost an instantaneous master strategies from 93T.
I don't think that it was like in terms of like that they saw them using it, so they do it as well. They knew what was going on. They knew that it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So
They saw the sneaky tactics. They saw the sneaky tactics to be used. They didn't see where the sneaky tactics was to that point. So if you just randomly see a master strategies used, you kind of just assume that there are marches around that area. So
I think based on like the strategies that we've seen today, GY16 was the most innovative team for sure. I mean, no other team used sneaky tactics, and we've seen today that it can be a very strong skill, which we might also see next week. Especially next week when we have the best of 3 and more teams will be playing more risky, because you can simply do mistakes. You don't need to win all 3 matches. You only need to win 2. And also what we saw today in general is that the teleport skills became way more relevant after, I think it was YYDS last week introduced them to the Grand Prix. I think no other team used them before YYDS, at least not for actual play. So, and today we've seen so many teleport skills. So
yeah,
I feel next week it's gonna increase even more.
We will definitely have to see how they use the teleport skills. Next week, semifinals. It's going to be 3 games, or best of 3. So we're going to be having 3 games each bracket, 6 games overall. It will be a great week of Ark of Osiris with the quality of play going up. If you guys in the chat have any guests that you would like to be part of the next live stream, put them in the chat. Let Lilith know, and they will try to see what could happen here. As we have 1 minute 30 seconds left in this game. I think this is a battle for honor at this point for GY16. And
I guess GY16 is still trying. I believe they still have a little bit of hope. But considering 93T got to the death, this will be a pretty quick mid-fight in my opinion.
Dust up used by both sides. 1 minute left until Ark spawns. To the death is such a game-changing skill for sure, and
It's
93T having it. So that means GY16, because they took sneaky tactics, they had to take away a skill. Maybe they don't have to the death, which is, you know, the trade-off for having sneaky tactics, because you only have a certain amount of skills in your skill bar. As we see to the death used by 93T, total vision in response by GY16, but to the death.
To the death is simply too strong, especially maybe, okay, what could GY have done? Maybe just pull out and wait till the to the death expires, basically. That could have been an option. But in this way, I don't see a way right now how 93 is not taking this Ark fight home.
As we start to see the sad face train coming out for GY16, the final stand. But 93T showing that the international servers can stand up against one of the Chinese servers' bests. 93T with the initial pull here. And that's, I feel like 93T, they win from these incremental advantages. They win taking your structures, and they win by getting first pull almost every single time the Ark spawns. I don't know if I've seen a middle where 93T is near the Ark that they haven't gotten first pull.
I mean, in general, 93T improved incredible. If you compare it to like season from season, like 93T was always decent, of course, but they became better and better from season to season, and especially this season, they are right now on the top. I believe that this 93T right now could definitely win the Grand Prix, for sure. Well, next week I guess we're gonna see 93T against GT potentially.
Potentially, yeah. Let's see.
From what I've heard in the other stream, that GT is currently winning there.
The score currently there is 25k to 21k. Of course, that's with a 12-minute delay, as the ARC is getting carried away from 93T. So dominance from 93T, although GY16 being sneaky with the sneaky tactics. But 93T just showing that the international server could stand, and yeah, it's gonna be interesting. We have one. If 960 win,
yeah,
it would be 3 international teams versus 1 Chinese team.
Yeah,
A97 being that 1 Chinese team,
and A97 is the big one. Let's say it this way.
Yeah, they played really well in this past match. So that bracket is going to be super interesting. Be sure to subscribe to the Rise of Kingdoms channel for that content.
On the other hand, we have potentially 93T against 60GT. So this week we had a rematch of the Chinese Grand Final, and next week we have the rematch of the International Grand Final, basically.
And it is a best of 3 for next week. So that is going to be so interesting.
It's going to be amazing to watch for sure.
Best of 3. So get comfortable. We are going to be seeing at least two matches, potentially 3, for these semifinals. I think this Grand Prix has been the highest level of Ark of Osiris we've seen. And of course, it's because we have the best teams from both servers fighting head to head here. But it shows that, like, what's possible for Ark of Osiris, because I guess in the international server, there's kind of like a rotation meta where like everyone essentially does the same stuff. And even though GY16 in this situation didn't prove that their strategy is the superior strategy, we have seen some Chinese servers pull off some really interesting stuff that could potentially work.
Yeah, I mean, potentially we see that stuff also next week. I could imagine teams trying to use sneaky tactics. I could imagine teams also trying to use the sneaky tactics into teleport skill play, which is simply good. Imagine you have you let one part of your team form a murder ball, go into the enemy team, the other part of your team just stands there, grabs the arc with the sneaky tactics skill, and just teleports away. You can do so much stuff basically with this combination of these 2 skills.
Yeah. That was... There's just so many combinations now. And I think the Raging Sands, although there was some skepticism with the fog, I feel like it really did objectively increase like the skill cap of Ark of Osiris, where you kind of have, instead of having perfect vision, which we had without the fog, now you kind of have to study and play like objectives based on what you see, and kind of you could play around fog as well.
Yeah. No,
so,
I personally see the fog as amazing. That's like one of the best changes in this season. Like, it's making so much more things more strategic. And also those skills that came up in this season. I'm a huge fan of the teleport skill. I say that all the time. And I think that the changes that were made this season were probably the best ones yet.
Yeah. As we tick down to the end of this match, 20 seconds left. It was such a... And it wasn't a close one. But for it being a 12k point differential, it was so entertaining to watch.
It was very entertaining. I feel like
So-
it was a close one until 93T was able to take the arc with the teleport skill.
Yeah. So GG's to both teams, but 93T taking the victory as Pawpaw from 93T being the MVP with 250k points. As we see 93T Scuff Tigers winning with 38.9k to 26.7k from GY16. The occupation score was won by GY16 by 2k, but that Ark of Osiris score of 15k ended up being the huge difference maker between both teams.
Yeah, 15k is just huge for arcs in one match.
So yeah, appreciate everyone for coming through. As we said, this is going to be the bracket of next week. We're not too sure of what the winners are of the bottom side of the bracket, but we do know GY16 is going to be versing the winners of VOOK and 60GT, and 489 versus 897 on the left side of the bracket is going to be so interesting. So be sure to subscribe to the official Rise of Kingdoms channel. Fish, do you have any final words as our guest here?
No, it was a pleasure. It was really fun to cast matches, and we had some great matches. And those people that didn't see the first match at 12 UTC, go and watch that match as well. It was really amazing.
So be sure to subscribe to the official Rise of Kingdoms channel for more Grand Prix content. Next week, we got best of 3. So we got a lot of Grand Prix content upcoming for you guys. And be sure to subscribe to our channels as well. Plato Gaming, Fish, we are linked in the description of this video. So give us some love. Appreciate you guys.